Hi, hi. I just have a mic, so I have to be careful not to shout. Oh, maybe I'll take them back. Wow. Sit, no. Where are you going? Please, yeah. But I don't want that door to open, Ali. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't want.
Hello, please take the corner seats.
Yeah, use my thing. Please take the corner seats. Hi, hi. I can all shift also. You'll still be able to see. Yeah, because there'll be lots of people, I'm guessing. I don't know. Ask them to move in. There are places. Oh my God.
Ayushi, Stuti, there is seats there. Go. That is being kept on the registration. Satyam, hey, there is seats there.
Off now.
Arnika, Hello, everyone, and thank you for being patient. Thank you so much for being patient. And it gives me great pleasure to have Anuja with us to perform. I'll do a brief introduction of, I mean, I'm sure all of you know who Anuja is, but I still introduce her. I'll introduce what the performance is, and I'll also tell a little bit about why we have it as a closing for the functions that we had over the 2 days. Anuja Goshalkar is founder of Drama Queen, a documentary theatre company evolving a multidisciplinary form in India since 2015. Her practice focuses on little histories, archival lapses, and blurring the hierarchies between audience and the performer to extend the idea of theatre to create audacious work. Lady Anandi Redux is a reopening of the archives of a previous show, also titled Lady Anandi, alongside excerpts of the real show. In the past 2 years, the performer's body has changed. Her way of embodying this performance has altered. The citation of past work in the present is a deliberate gesture and brings with it the privilege and the pitfalls of the processual and temporal distance. How can she recite her work? What has unchanged? And what is easily discarded? For us at the conference, we spoke a lot on what does it mean to inhabit an archive, what lapses does an archive have, what is citation, what is the body. And we feel that for in this performance by Anuja, all of them kind of just collapse. In all these questions start collapsing. So over to you, Anuja. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, just one quick housekeeping things. Please keep your phones on silent. Photography is allowed, but no flash photography. And please maintain that the aisle is free on all times in case somebody just needs to dash out in case of an emergency. Yeah, thank you. Over to you.
Can you get the house lights off, please?
Citation. Noun. Words or lines taken from a book or a speech. Recitation. Noun. An act of saying aloud a piece of poetry or prose that you have learned for people to listen to.
Lady Anandi Redux. Lady Anandi was written in 2015. The last time I performed it was January 18th, 2020, Kochi at the Kerala Museum. I say last time because while I was performing it, I didn't know that it would be the last time. That it would be the last time I ever inhabited this world. Because, as some of you might know, we are a small matter of a global pandemic. Today, after 3.5 years, I relook at this performance text. I reopen the archive of the videos of the performance, and I invite you all to bear witness to this uncertain and nervous encounter I have with a profoundly personal show. And I invite you with me to also witness my trepidation with which I'm entering this world. So, Lady Anandi Redux.
कुमुद बांधव श्यामला कुमुद बांध.
The characters in Lady Anandi are as follows. Character 1, a male actor in his 60s. He plays Madhav Rao Tipnis, my great grandfather. He's known for his female impersonation of the character Lady Anandi. Character 2, a female actor in her late 30s, now mid 40s. She plays the narrator. Character 3, a woman. Any capable female actor. She plays Indumati the fan, Yashwant the older brother, and Malati the wife of Madhav. Scene 1. The play begins with the image of the moon projected on the screen. It's dark. The song Chandrika Izan is playing in the background. Warm yellow light. There is a mirror with light bulbs on it, like found in a makeup room. Enter Anandi Bai. Enter Anandi Bai. She's dressed in a blood red 9-yard silk sari covered in shimmering gold. She takes a stance close to the moon and starts speaking.
आहा, चांदणं कसं गोड पडलं आहे. प्रेमे शशिकला अन अवनीला सुखद सुधा पाजित बाला मृदु मृदु गाल चुंबुनी भाल रमवी अंकी उदित होत धवल सुधांशु लख लख तेज खुलत हे जगत फुल. पण हे काय, सृष्टीच्या आनंदात विरजण घालण्याकरिता हा नीच राहू चंद्राला ग्रासून टाकतो आहे. हा पहा अंधार पडत चालला. काय ग बाई तरी, इतका वेळ पौर्णिमेचं चांदणं कसं लख्ख पडलं होतं आणि इतक्यात हा अमावस्येचा काळा कुट्ट अंधार. पौर्णिमा आणि अमावस्या या बहिणी बहिणी आज एकमेकींना कडकडून भेटत आहेत का दोघींचा तंटा विकोपाला जाऊन एकमेकींच्या झिंज्या धरून एकमेकींना ओढीत आहेत. काहीच कळत नाही. बाळविश्वास, हा चांदोबा पाहिलास का कसा काळवंडात चालला आहे.
and lights come on. And applause. The audience, the audience screams, "Wah! Wah! Wah! Wah!" and throws roses on stage. And throws roses. Anandibai takes a bow. She takes the audience's love in and exits. Sitting in the audience is Indumati. She is wearing a green sari. She's a great Rasik. She's struck by the performance, and Indumati rushes backstage. Anandibai is in the process of taking off her jewelry. As soon as she sees Indumati, she covers her head. Yes. Indumati unable to say anything. Sister, are you looking for someone? I, I'm a great admirer of yours. Mm, thank you. You are very kind. You are so beautiful. Anandibai shakes her head in approval. I love you. I mean, I love to watch you, Anandibai. I have learned the art from my sisters, whom I read about in novels and I see in society. I love you, Anandibai. Anandibai and the murder of Narayan Rao. It is my toughest role yet. Anandibai is a beautiful woman who makes her husband a murderer for power. Yes, yes, you are an enigma, but I understand you well. You want your husband to become the king. I, I didn't make you a murderer. I merely changed the word from catch to kill. Sorry, very sorry. I commend your memory. It took me several months to get Anandibai right. Yes, yes, I have learned from the best. I have watched you say these lines over and over again. At this point, Indu moves closer to Anandibai. Anandibai. Madam, you seem to be from a respectable family. Please, as per company rules, we're not allowed to interact with the opposite sex. Opposite sex? But I thought we're sisters. I thought you'll understand me well. At this point, Indumati starts to put a flower in Anandibai's hair. Anandibai shuns her. Indumati starts to walk away. Anandibai, what's the use of flowers? They all smell the same. Write me letters and let me smell you on them. At this point, Anandibai takes off his wig. And what's exposed is a balding head full of gray hairs. Write to me. Write to me and tell me what you think when I wear my hair down. Indumati shop exits. End of scene one, blackout. On nights like this, when the theater's empty and the lights are dim, I smell old shoes and dried up roses, and sometimes I hear poems above the moon, and old men find themselves to sleep. And I feel like he has been here, you know, on this stage, by these walls. You know who? My great grandfather, my mother's father's father. No, seriously. And blackout. Scene three. We now see Yashwant, Madhav's older brother. He's standing in front of the mirror, picking up a red sari. He calls out to his younger brother Madhav, who's exercising. Yashwant, Madhav, Madhav, hey Gadhwa Madhav. Dada, Dada, sorry I'm late. I've been waiting. Our company needs you. We need a fresh new face for our new play. But Dada, I don't want to be an actor. Only for a few shows. Then you can go back to school, your friends. But Dada, what about my wrestling? My teacher said, you can go back to that after a few months. Come on. Dada, I don't want to be a lady. You will have great admirers. Women will want to copy your fashion, and men will send you flowers. I don't like flowers. But you like reading all the fan letters that I get, don't you? You will receive them too, hundreds of them. I don't like the theater. At this point, Yashwant starts doing tangos on Madhav. Then he takes his chalk and draws a line. Walk. Walk like a lady. Bend one knee. More. Chest out. Arch your back. Lower your shoulders. Believe you're a real woman. Ahaha. Kiti Sundar. You will be my new Anandi Bai in our new play. Anandi Bai and the murder of Narayan Rao. The ghost of my younger brother. Why? Why have you bloodied my hands, Anandi Bai? Madhav now fully transformed into Anandi Bai. I? I didn't make you a murderer. I merely changed a word from catch to kill. Dha for Dharawa to Marawa. Dha Sama. Ma. Ma. M. M stands for mother, who's always busy cooking during Christmas time. This M was my first time on stage at the age of 5. I played the alphabet M in a big word, Christmas. Yeah, and first I'd been cast in the lead as Virgin Mary, of course. But I was quickly rejected because I couldn't sit still and I couldn't kneel down for a long time. And that day, when I went home, I was crushed. And my grandfather, my mother's father, to cheer me up, started to tell me the story of his father, who played women characters in plays, and their traveling theater company, and how one day they took a living, breathing horse on stage. And another time, they hauled an entire railway carriage in front of a live audience. This was really edge of the seat stuff for a 5-year-old. Um, and that night, I had vivid dreams of that world. So next day when I went to school, I told the teacher, I'm happy with the talking part rather than a silent, pious part. And then the teacher said to me, can you move your fingers like a lady? I said, oh yeah, like a lady. And there he was, standing, watching me. You know who. As I grew up, I tried looking for him in history books. He was a footnote. In family albums, a few photos. On the grand internet, nothing. My great grandfather is missing from the archive. Um, and then years later, when I decided to be a full time theatre actor at 34, a director once said to me, Baba, you read beautifully, but you don't physically hit the part. Another one said, you're so expressive, but don't stand like a man, I thought. And yet another one said, ooh, you have such great presence, but you talk too fast. I know. So you know how surprised as I was when I was struggling to play women characters convincingly when I first encountered my great grandfather dressed in a blush, red, 9 yard silk sari covered in shimmering gold, dressed as Lady Anand. Perfect.
Bend your knees more, chest out, arch your back, lower your shoulders. Believe you are a real woman.
Can I be a convincing Lady Anandi? Do I hold the pallu right? Is my waist the perfect size? Is my voice the right pitch? is my gaze discern. Hey, mister. Hello, sister. Am I desirable enough for you? Oh, thank you. I knew it. Hmm. Look, but don't stare. Laugh, laugh, but not too loud. Talk, not too fast. Jump, not too high. Walk, not too far. Touch, touch, but don't grab. Most important, think, but not too much. Better? ये जो तेरे पायल की छन छन आशिकों के दिल की धड़कन ना 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 I'm not complaining. I'm happy in my house. My husband, he doesn't let me go without. I have so much. Gosh, I have a refrigerator. Yes, I know everyone in the world has a refrigerator, but mine makes round ice cubes. I have a washing machine. 24 cycles. Washes and dries. I have a wok, a vegetable juice extractor, a blender, and music in every room. What more can I ask for? I'm only a woman after all. I am only a woman after all. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. Womb. Is there an explanation for a woman's unhappiness at a changed stage? Can she go back home saying, I don't like this job, I don't want to be a wife? Can a woman love mustaches? No, I really do. Mm. Thick, black, long, hairy mustache. Oh, this feels so good. Auntie, you should try it sometime. Is there a resemblance? The strong forearms, the thinning hair, the elephantine ears, or the black, long, This photo was taken from the famous, or rather infamous play called Kichakwan, written by Krishnaji Prabhakar Khadalkar. The British thought Kichak, played by my great grandfather, represented Lord Curzon, the Viceroy of India at the time. And Sairandri, they thought was a metaphor for the people of India. And him raping her at the end, they imagined it to be some sort of an allegory for the British exploiting the people of India. Thus, this play was banned on seditious grounds. Very little has changed today. Around the same time, another British officer, Jackson, was murdered by Kanhere outside Vijayananda Theatre in Nashik, while another play by Kirloskar Company was playing. It was called Sangeet Sharda. Theatre companies, artists, and thinkers were being closely surveilled by the state. Really, nothing has changed today. The atmosphere was tense. Madhav is dressed in the full costume of Kichak. It's dark backstage. He's pacing up and down. Yashwant walks in briskly. Madhav, they're here to watch the play. Don't use your hands like him. His gestures. But Dada, I'm not playing him. I'm playing Kichak. Yes, but Gadha, they think we're involved in the movement. Are we not? Yes, but they don't need to know that. Dada, I've dreamed of playing Kichak ever since I read the play. And you're letting me play him after so many shows. Madhav, that's because you wowed the critics with your Sairandri. Remember what one review said? This is one of the finest plays of our time. And Madhav Rao plays Sairandri with great belief and honesty. But if the rumor mills are to be believed, Madhav is to play Kichak soon. How that works out remains to be seen. That remains to be seen. That's why I need to do this. Madhav, it's not about the critics. They're on our side. It's the British officers I'm worried about. Do you not want me to be true to my character? To play Kichak in the best way that I know? In the way that it was intended? That best way will put you into prison. Be it so. Be it so. Correct? We are not revolutionaries. We're actors, we act. Well then, Dada, that's what I'll do. I'll act. I'll act as though they're not watching. Madhav, don't. Madhav exits, enters stage, lines from Kichakvad Aha.
ह्या माझ्या कृत्याला पशुतुल्य पापचरण म्हणा, राक्षसी कृत्य म्हणा, किंवा राजा विराट तुझ्या डोळ्यादेखत झालेला हा तुझा अपमान समज. हा कीचक ह्या दरबारात राजा, गुरु, पुरोहित व महाराणी ह्या सर्वांचे डोळे उघडे असताना त्या सैरंद्रीचा पदर तिच्या अंगावरून जबरदस्तीने ओढून काढून आजच्या रात्री ही सैरंद्री खात्रीने माझी रंडी होणार हे तिच्या अनुभवात आणून देणार.
This was the scene that they had problems with. Charles Kincaid wrote 4 articles in the Times focusing on the seditious climate in India. One was exclusively about Kichakvad, calling it a seditious play of the decade. In that article, it said that there were British spies in the audience during the play. And these spies reported back saying that the audience applauded the most seditious bits. So be careful what you applaud. And thus the play was banned. They ordered every single copy of the play to be burned. And so it was. Except one. The publisher of the play be it Damle, his sister-in-law, hid one copy in her sari and put that sari under her trunk. And like many women revolutionaries, we do not know her name. And this one copy helped to make several other copies. You're an archivist, no? I know you're an archivist. Thank you. And this copy helped to make several other copies when the ban was lifted in 1926. While one brother was fighting deep-seated foreign oppression, his younger cousin, Surbanana Tipnis, was fighting caste oppression. As the head of the municipality in Mahad, he opened all water bodies to all castes at the behest of B.R. Ambedkar. This was also the beginning of the Mahad Satyagraha and a 30-year-long working relationship between Surbanana Tipnis and B.R. Ambedkar. I wondered about another kind of relationship. Madhav is wearing a topi and he's riding in a bullock cart. And there's a back projection, like you see in the Devanand films in the 30s and 40s. His car is stationary and the projection is moving like that. And he's with a little boy, and the little boy is making an announcement. Little boy. Only for the best of our time. Some come watch it on the night of the lunar eclipse. Come watch the beautiful Mohanoiris. Suddenly, a vivacious young girl is running after the bullock cart, trying to catch the pamphlets. Give me one, it flies off. Give me another, it flies off again. Seeing her, Madhav asked the bullock cart to be slowed down. What's your name? What's yours? Madhav. Ah, Malati, is that you on the poster? Are you the hero? No, I'm the heroine. I'm Mohana. Will you come watch me? Only if my parents let me. Tell them, Madhav Rao, the Natak Mandali has invited you. Is the play about ghosts and shamans? No, it's a historical play. Then I won't come. I don't like history. Is it a musical at least? No, it's a prose play. Then I won't come. Bye. That's how my great grandfather and great grandmother fell in love. She was 14, he was 32.
What's your name? What's yours? Madhav. Malati. Is that you on the poster? Are you the hero? I'm the heroine. I'm Mohana. Will you come watch me? Only if my parents let me. Tell them, Madhav Rao, the Natak Mandali has invited you. Is the play about ghosts and shamans? No, it's a historical play. Then I won't come. I don't like history. Is it a musical at least? No, it's a prose play. Then I won't come. Bye.
As I said earlier, finding anything on my great grandfather was very difficult. Then I found one interview with him in a Diwali Anka of Natya Darpan magazine. The Diwali Anka is a special issue for Diwali. And that Diwali Anka I found in a library in Pune, which was serendipitously over an old theatre. And in that interview, one of the things he talks about was if a fan or a patron gave the actors a present, they weren't allowed to keep it for themselves. It became a part of the company. So here, there's a scene that I read normally of Madhav who's wearing a golden turban and preening because the Queen of Baroda, Chimna Bai, has given it to him. But today, in performance, we decided to delete the scene. In that same interview, he talks about playing woman on stage for the first time. He was made to walk in a chalk line. But with lead ankles, so that his walk would be more ladylike. But he couldn't control his tears when he was made to wear a padded blouse so that he had firm grip. One of his favorite roles was Lady Macbeth or Dariyabai. I really like the sound of that word, Dariyabai, the woman of the ocean, or the lady from the sea. It is said that he played Dariyabai with such intensity that he felt violently ill. And the older brother and the doctor asked him to tone down his emotions. And so he did. And his Dariyabai was never quite the same. Madhav is sleeping with a wet cloth on his head. He has high fever. He's sweet talking. He's mumbling lines from Lady Macbeth at Candlekeep. Yashwant is sitting beside him, looking worried. Yet, here's a spot. Out, damn spot. Out, I say. 1, 2. Hell is murky. No, Bara. You're at home. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier in a fear. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our part to account? Mother, you're at home. Zo, Bara. Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Will these hands ne'er be clean? Shh! Such intensity at your age. Sleep. Your more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mar all which you started. Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. Get out of character. I tell you yet again. Banquo is buried. He cannot come out on one's grave. To bed, to bed, to bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed, to bed. You will get better tomorrow. Please get better. And yeah. Yeah, Anandi Bai. I'm sorry if I offended you the other night. That was not my intention. I only wanted to show you my admiration. I cannot forget how radiant you looked that night. I was shocked to know that your hair isn't real. I always thought when you wear your hair down, it might be like my mother's, thick, black, long. I cannot write very much, but since you said write to me, I'm attempting it. No one can know I'm writing to you. I hope this reaches you, and you will reply. Your admirer, Induvati. Dear Indumati, I was surprised and happy to receive your letter. It's because of people like you that I get up there on stage every evening. Otherwise, 30 years of doing it every day, I'm now weary and tired. I'm sorry if I disappointed you. When I was younger, I did have long black hair and flawless skin, much like yours. You are so beautiful. I wish to see you again soon. Waiting for your response eagerly, Madhav. Dear Indumati, you have not replied to my letter. Did I offend you in any way? That wasn't my intention. I only wanted to thank you for your letter, that's all. This strange thing happened to me. I received incense sticks from an ardent admirer. Written, forever yours, Mama. Dear Anandi Bai, it's most odd that someone should send you such a beautiful present and not claim it. I wonder why. Maybe she wants to remain unknown. But tell me, did you like the smell of the incense sticks? In admiration. Madhav now is a very old man. He's standing on stage, in nothing but his underwear. He has a delusional, senile look about him. He starts to speak slowly, the sound of the audience hooting.
Don't look at me. Stop looking at me. I don't want to stand here anymore. This place smells rotten, like 1,000 dead were living here. I want to retreat into that black hole, there, never to return. I have to go. Let me go. Another will come, much brighter. I must leave to make place for another. Be patient. Wait. Another will come.
And black. Yes, any question? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Ali, Vikram, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. That's really question. Sure.
Look at the idea of beauty and the fact that much of it is based on Ravi Verma's paintings, who used to look at theatre actresses to frame his idea of ideal womanhood, with an inverted commas. They were all male impersonators. So you have the male actor, Bal Gandharva, etc. So he is sketching as women. They're not women. Right? So in some sense, when you were expanding on your family archive, and I was thinking about this idea, what is female beauty?
Yeah, I think for sure. Yeah, and also strangely, the first time we did this show was at a Piramal Museum, and they were having a Ravi Verma exhibition outside. And so people had seen that, and then they came here, and obviously they were very disturbed. And no joke, this is real. I mean, I'm not making it up. Yeah. I really want to thank Arshad and Anika actually for programming this and for pushing me to rethink some of the things. So thank you, Anika and Arshad. I don't know if they're here. So thank you so much. And of course, my team, Ali and Vikrant and Prashant, who've really worked with me throughout. So Ali and Vikrant, thank you because they've worked with me since 2016. Thank you guys. I'm clapping for y'all. Thanks. And I'm happy to answer questions because it's really, yes, yes.
Between the 2016 one and now, you said redux. I'm curious to see what changes happened and why, and as much as you can get into it. And also, an aside, I love the way the juxtaposition of the media and the way you've documented it. It's beautifully done. Thanks.
Thanks. Um, I knew this would be a question. Can I answer it with a little bit of like, so what has changed? I mean, the last time I performed it was in 2020. The pandemic had not happened. Um, I feel like all of us have changed in the last 3.5 years, especially as artists, people who are sensitive human beings. I think we've gone through like collective trauma as humankind, nobody addresses. We're all back to normal. And for me, I made two live pieces now after the pandemic or as it's tapering out. And I feel that I cannot go back to the theater in the same way I used to go before. I cannot pretend like the last 3.5 years didn't happen. So the first thing that definitely has changed is my body. I have changed drastically. Um, and I wouldn't like to pull out instead of what's different, but there are lots of people who've seen the show twice and thrice, and I've written about it. Um, so many things have changed, but also the skeleton remains the same. From the skeleton thing grew that scene that I deleted, obviously, has been deleted. Um, so I don't know if I want to break it down into every element because that might spoil the fun of it. Um, but I think fundamentally I have changed because I've made digital work, like virtual reality work in the last 3 years, and to come back to this piece, which is like not to overplay it a bit, but it's like a source text for my practice. Documenting theater starts with me and these questions. So it was very important for me to document what is happening to me in the last 3 years. And today is the first time I'm sharing this. I've never shared it before. Because like I said, last time we were on Zoom, we were doing erotic on Zoom, we were doing hubs where the audience comes as avatars, and it was a glorious failure, that experiment. The audience hated it. This was a terrible show for the Serendipity Arts Virtual Festival, but we learned a lot. But the idea of embodying oneself online is so different. So I just wanted to try this again for myself. So I think to answer very simply, I have changed a lot. I am much older, but apart from that, lots. I mean, yeah, lots. But do you want me to pick it? Because what's also interesting is, like, I'm really seeing there are many people in the audience who've seen it twice and like many times. I also am interested in thinking of what they remember from the show and what they think like, oh, ये तो पहले भी किया है यार, अभी नया क्या किया? Lots. But is it like this is new? No. I'm really interested in thinking of what do they remember of this show. So what becomes fundamental? So it's also really an experiment. For the first time I'm doing this redux. So yeah. Oh my God, yeah. You're a journalist, aren't you?
You said it's the first time you're performing this version in public, and proud of the reason of doing it with you. your own changes. What have you learned about yourself through today's performance?
That's a good question. The one thing that I've learned is this thing about talking fast. Okay, it's a constant direction I have to get from director. I you talk so fast, you talk so fast, and then I started directing people, and I was directing younger people, people of all orientations, and I was wondering why a certain type of us talk fast. I think as people in the minority or other genders, we've been taught now at least to claim our space, but we're very afraid of claiming our time. And for me, that was the fear, and it still remains. That am I talking rubbish? I better get it over with fast. Should I take up your time? And then that's honestly in the last 2 years because of Zoom and time travel so differently online. I've had to teach myself to take time, and I do hope that today I claim my time much more than my previous shows. I'm able to say like, hey, this joke isn't landing. That fellow looks disinterested, and I can still persist with it. So for me, the biggest thing, so getting into the show, the idea was, Anu, can you take more time? Can I claim my time? And we even contemplated having a slide saying, breathe, talk slowly, pause, pause, pause. But we did away with that. We took alarm bells and all. We tried some fun stuff. Uh, but I think, see, now I'm trying to talk fast again because I don't know what I'm saying. Um, but the biggest learning is, can I be more intentional about taking time in front of a public? Word for. It's so funny. Okay. Any more questions?
Uh, I actually don't have a question. It's more like, first of all, I'm just flabbergasted by seeing this. Like, my top shelf has just erupted.
Top shelf.
Yeah, and like, second is that this is not from me, but also from my friends. Like, we are asking that, do you have openings in your group?
Talk to me afterwards.
Okay,
First, like my Instagram and Facebook page.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Anytime, anytime. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's a great question. Yeah, there is. Yeah, yeah. I also want to just quickly mark this because on 25th of March, 2020, I started an Instagram handle called Lonely Hearts Club. And today is the 3-year anniversary, and it's become a show that's its own thing. And three of my collaborators are here, Nidhi, Bhavna, and Rensi. So Nidhi, Bhavna, and Rensi also. So that's another version of documentary theater, but those three came to show support. And yeah, that's another way of talking about bodies and the document. One last question, two questions, nothing? Right to me. Arshad also can ask questions. He's been told not to ask. Please. Anything? Yeah? No more questions? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I have a question.
Hi. Uh, Thank you for this piece of work. It was so moving. Thank you. Also, because through this archive, we learned so much about not just you, but where you came from, right? And in that, uh, archiving in the way that you talked about it seemed like such a personal journey, you know? As you write about yourself, you remember and piece together bits of yourself that you want to remember in the way that you want to remember. Of course, in the world, as we document information, as stuff happens, as people write about what happened even in the past 3 years, when you research and find out about COVID and the war room and what happened, uh, there's a distance already. We're not talking about ourselves, we're not talking about things that are outside of us. In the same way that archives live in the world, the national archives, the archives in public offices, etc., become stories of other people. And what does your work tell us about that, and if there's anything from your journey that we can borrow in other practices. I'd love to know that.
Again, thank you so much. It's a really good question, and it's something I should be asking myself. My documentary theater journey began with me, and let's say it ended with Lonely Hearts Club, which is 8 other people. It's me outside, and therefore coming back to the show was fundamental. Coming back to myself without being too self-indulgent, but asking questions of myself. But 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 I actually actively work with archives. Venkat is here. I bother the NCBS archives all the time. So I go all the time, whether I have a project or not. I find that process quite nourishing. And like earlier, you were saying, Meenakshi, that the artist can't just take the archive also just for granted. I think we can challenge it, we can bring it down, but it's also a symbiotic relationship. So I'm interested in the archive as a site, what it offers, what it invisibilizes. But for me, if it's not apparent from here, for me, the archive is a great site of play. We have to be able to play a bit with it. And I think that's also rooted in my feminist practice because I find this register of the profound. I'm now going to tell you about something very profound because I'm some person. Um, so I love going to the archive and playing a bit, to play. Um, and that's vital to my practice because the playful is the political as well. I might like slap you and say something really funny and then you laugh, I like that form. And for me, my relationship, and really I have worked from 2015 to now, I have just created a playful archival manual with our NCBS material, which is a science archive. Um, I feel, and when I say play, I don't mean that it's superficial. Play requires great amount of self-confidence and a little bit amount of like, I know what I'm doing. So I think it's gone from the personal and trepidation of the personal archive to saying, okay, I will go to the institutional archive and play a bit. So for me, so I don't say theater anymore because I don't know this is theater. My performance practice has taken me to that place of playing with the archive. Yeah. Yes.
Anuja, I must say, so this is actually the first time I'm watching it. I haven't watched the earlier version, but I absolutely enjoyed the way, um, there's a superimposition that's happening on several levels with gender, with generations, with forms, with all with different kinds of practices, with costume. There's so much that's happening, and I absolutely loved it. You were talking about play, and I wanted to know if you've also played with the story. How much is it? How much of it is fiction? Because I know there was an inter. It felt like there was an interplay between the real, the historical, and the fiction, and the two also collapse. And there's a superimposition of that as well. So, for instance, particularly, I love the part where the young girl is going after this cycle wala, and I thought that was a lovely piece of fiction. Was it in your head?
This is a question I get for 7 years. Okay, which one is fiction? What is fiction? I don't know. I mean, if I now start to, yeah, there's a lot of fiction. At one show at IIT Powai, which was a conference on archiving, there was visual artists and theater people. The theater people like, and the visual artists like, and then I was just like, actually, he's not my great grandfather. And then the visual artist like, now this is fun. And the theater people looked betrayed. And I was like, this is far more fun for me because their practices are different, right? And this is also where my practice sits in this like dust between places. Is it a theater piece? Is it a visual? Is it archival intervention? So there's a lot of fiction. I revel in it, but 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 I also want to say because when I say I do documentary theater, people are like, oh, this is all real and all that. But I think that's the biggest lie our state has also told us, right? Documents of existence. So what does that mean? Um, so it's this line of what was real, you know, yeah, it is, there is a lot of fiction, yeah. I'm not a playwright, but it's fiction. I asked you if there's a resemblance with photographic evidence. Some people said yes. Cool. Yeah? Oh, you want to thank him. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, oh, more questions. इतना पैसा में इतना ही मिलेगा.
But
Sorry,
thank
take
you,
it back.
everyone. And on the playful as the political and fiction and not fiction, thank you for coming. I thought it was a beautiful point that was made and also a very important point. But before I close, can we have a huge round of applause for Anuja? For Ali, who I can't see right now, but for Ali, for visual design and video editing, for Vikrant, who's in the green room, in the control room, for light design and execution, sound design by Isro, who is
As a gig.
costume design by Sachin and Marvin D'Souza, production manager Shashank, and Amar for all the food and beverages
Yeah.
while they were rehearsing. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for holding on to the book. Thank you so much. Love it. Ali, thanks.